You made a terrible mistake. You're lucky that our client pointed out the mistake. If they had accepted like this, our company was about to be subject to a massive loss. Who was the one that made this paperwork?
It was Morikubu. I only created the material exactly as I was instructed by Mr. Yabe. And I also had Mr. Yabe do the final check of the material. Nah, I didn't give any instructions, and I also wasn't asked to check anything. I believe Morikubu did this on his own accord. No way. But Oh, a dream. My name is Koki Morikubo. After I graduated from college, I got a job out of General Company, and I worked there for about 2 years. However, my senior colleague blamed his mistake on me, and I wasn't able to recover and I quit my job. What happened that day was such a shock that sometimes I still have nightmares about it. I need to hurry up and find a new job. I can't stay unemployed forever. Right now, I'm cutting into my savings to survive, so... But even if I get a new job, there's a possibility that in my new workplace somebody might dump their mistake on me, or that I might get betrayed. That's scary. Ugh, I don't want to go to the high school reunion in a situation like this. I don't want to go. Until now, my life has been smooth sailing. When I was a student, I didn't run into any particular trouble, and I graduated straight through a national university. And I was also doing better than any of my former classmates at work. That's why I was being faced with my first failure in my life. In reality, I was so depressed that I didn't want to see anybody. But I had already agreed to help out at the high school reunion 6 months ago. But I wasn't able to cancel last minute, and I headed towards the venue to do my job as the receptionist. Please, write down your senior class and your name.
Senior Class A, Miki Aizawa.
Yes, thank you very much. Please go ahead into the venue. I think most people have finished checking in with this. I didn't even want to come to the high school reunion, but I already promised to help out at the reunion before I quit my job, so I wasn't able to say no at this point. I hate myself for taking everything seriously. Now that I finished my job doing the reception, I'll participate for a little bit, and I think I'll go home early.
Hey, Koki. Long time no see. I wasn't working the reception desk.
Long time no see. Everybody looks different, but there were some people that I didn't recognize until they wrote down their name.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Especially the girls. Some of them have completely different impressions from high school.
And there's some people who blossom when they become college students or working adults.
But you two haven't changed that much. That reminds me, are you still dating?
Nope, we're not dating anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, really?
Actually, last month, we got married.
What? Congrats!
Thanks.
Sure. Thank goodness. You said that you're not dating anymore, so I was worried that maybe you broke up.
My bad. I teased you a little bit.
No, but it's amazing that you married somebody that you've been dating since high school. That's true love.
It just so happened that we didn't find anybody else to fall in love with.
Who says that?
You guys get along so well. I haven't been able to find any love at all.
Come on. You know the high school reunion is the best chance at love? What about that girl you used to have a crush on? You're not gonna ask her out?
I don't have that kind of courage. And when it comes to me now, I would definitely get rejected.
Really? Oh, did you hear that the teacher, Mr. Fujiwashi, got remarried?
What? Really? How many times is that now?
Apparently the 5th.
I was worried about what would happen if people started talking about work and they found out that I was unemployed. But unexpectedly, everybody was caught up with other conversations. It wasn't that uncomfortable. If it was going to be like this, I started to think that I might be able to participate in high school reunion until the end, but... Interesting. Yo! Well, if it isn't Koki Morikubu.
Oh. Kawase, long time no see.
Hey, I heard that you're unemployed right now. Are you sure you can be holding your head so high at the high school reunion?
What? How do you know that?
One of my friends from college works at the same company as you. There was a guy named Karuri in your colleagues, wasn't there?
Yeah. This is the worst. Never could have imagined that Karui was Kawase's friend.
Hey, Koki, you quit your job?
I heard that he made a huge mistake at work and was yelled at by his boss. And he quit over such a pathetic reason. How lame. Even though you were so smart when we were students, when you got into the adult world, you became unemployed. Well, school is only a passing point anyway. The real competition begins when you start work. And if you failed there, then I guess that means that shows what a low-level person that you really are. Amongst all the people that are at this venue for the high school reunion, you're probably the biggest failure right now, Morikubu.
We're still in our early 20s, and there are times when things don't go well, you know? Don't say like Koki is a failure in life.
That's right. Kuwase, you're saying too much.
I never should have participated. Kawase didn't think highly of me ever since we were in high school, and it seems that hadn't changed, and he started telling me more and more people about how I quit my job. My chest hurts. I don't feel well. I need to go home now. Sorry, I'm gonna leave.
Oh, Koki.
What? The loser in life is gonna go home already? Why don't we talk a bit more?
I have nothing to talk to you about.
Wait, Koki!
Rei Hirosaka. This was the girl that was my #1 rival. If I was first place in an exam, Rei was in second place. If I was in second place, Rei was in first. With every test, she and I were competing against each other. Oh, Rei. But just because we were rivals didn't mean that we hated each other. We got along as friends and sometimes we even studied together. In reality, I had a huge crush on Rei, who was smart and cute. And that's why I didn't want to see her. I didn't want her to see me in such a pathetic state.
Oh, Ray! Did you hear that the guy is unemployed right now? Apparently he's busy trying to find a job. So let him go home.
Kawase used to have a crush on Rei, so he didn't like that she and I got along so well. And if I stay here, then I'm sure he's going to enjoy telling her what a failure of a human I am. I want to go home. I want to go home.
Unemployed? Really? Lucky me. I'm so glad that I came to the high school reunion.
What?
What?
Me unemployed is lucky for her? What does that mean?
Guess what? I started my own business, and I'm working as a home tutor, but I was just starting to look for people to work with me. Will you please work with me? At least until you find your next job.
What? A home tutor?
That's right, which means that it's perfect job for someone like you. That was always competing with me at school, and it's good at teaching how to study.
This does sound interesting, but you think I can do it?
No way, no way! Ray, you shouldn't hire a guy like this.
What? But why?
Morikubu made a huge mistake in work and was yelled at by his boss. And then he immediately ran away from his company. Just for making one mistake, he ran away. His mental strength is that weak. It's not going to go well. Even though it should have been 3 months since he quit his job, it seems like he still hasn't been able to find a new one. He's nothing more than a failure.
Does that mean that Morikubo can't recover anymore?
That's right.
You know, ever since I graduated high school, I failed many times, but every single time, I did whatever it takes to get back on my feet. Of course, it wasn't easy to recover every single time. Sometimes it took me more than 6 months to be able to think positively and want to try again. Just because you made one mistake doesn't mean you can't do anything anymore. And that's not for you to decide, is it, Kurawase? You're the one that's rubbing into an old wound and trying to make sure that he can't recover. You have a terrible personality, and it's not just me. I'm sure everybody else thinks the same.
I know, right?
Everything he's been saying has been pretty bad. There are times that things just don't go the way you want them to, but I'm sure that something good will come. So, do you want to try working with me?
Yeah, I want to try. After being told so straightforwardly by Ray, it seems that Kawase was shocked, and he was quietly cowering in the corner of the venue. And then, my friends started to cheer me up, telling me that they were nothing for me and that I can always start over, and I regained some energy. A few days later, I received the details about the job from Ray, and I officially began my job as a home tutor. It seems that Ray has a dream to increase the jobs of home tutors and to create a new and brilliant, highly rated group of home tutors. In order to do that, she wants to increase the number of students. However, she wasn't able to get many new students, and she didn't know how to grow the business.
From the students I'm teaching right now, it is slowly starting to spread through word of mouth. But what can I do to get more people to recognize us?
I know. I'll create a blog talking about tips to study or how to resolve common problems that people are running into and studying. Would you be able to put that on the homepage?
Blog? I think that's interesting. But if you openly put that information on a blog, don't you think less people are going to hire home tutors?
People who want to hire a home tutor are probably people who are having difficulty studying in the first place. And I think that they would probably search for tips on the internet. When people like that see the blog, and then think that it's easy to understand, and then find out that we actually offer home tutoring services, I was thinking that maybe they'll recognize that if they hired us, we would be able to teach them in a way that's easy to understand.
That's true. I didn't think about it that way. That might be really great.
And then, 6 months later, my plan was a huge success, and we started to get more and more students that said they wanted to learn from us. As the page visit numbers increased for the blog, it also meant that the visits to the company homepage also increased.
Because we have so many more students than I expected, I am busy trying to find more tutors that are willing to work with us. And in order to make sure our quality doesn't go down, I need to find people that can meet our standards, but this is a happy problem. Your strategy with the blog was a huge success. This is why you're so amazing. I'm sure it was hard work to do in addition to your work as a tutor, but thank you.
When I was writing the blog, I was able to remember my own tips for teaching how to study. So, I am also glad that I did the blog. Otherwise, I don't think I would have been able to do my job as a tutor as well. This job is really fun.
Koki, looks like you've gotten back to your feet. I'm glad.
What?
You were so focused on your job as a tutor and making the blog that you have forgotten about the time that you were depressed, haven't you?
Oh, now that you mention it, even though I was depressed, I didn't even realize that I forgot about it already.
Yeah, and that's fine. Me too. Until high school, everything was looking well for me. But I felt in college, I became so depressed. I was so devastated that I didn't think I could go on. But by the time I realized it, I had somehow gotten over it. And as I got over the bumps in the road like that many times, I learned that you can always find your way around those bumps in the road. And I became tough. And I think you'll start to understand that little by little too. Not all failures are a bad thing.
Not all failures are a bad thing, right? Wait a minute. Is the reason why you invited me to work as a home tutor was to help me get back on my feet?
That might be about the third reason.
The third reason? Then what were the first and second?
The second reason was because that I knew you would definitely make a great home tutor and that we could be successful as a business. And the first reason was, I guess it's because I like you, Koki.
What?
Did you know that ever since we were in high school, I've always liked you, Koki. Until now, I've been asked out a number of times, but every single time I would think about you and I couldn't move forward, which means that I still like you to this day. And ever since I was reunited with you and we started working together, I've only fallen more for you. I'm sorry. I'm sure this is shocking.
I am shocked, but I'm happy. Because I also liked you, Ray.
What?
And that's why when I was reunited with you at the high school reunion, I was really embarrassed that you found out that I was unemployed. But then you invited me to start working with you, and I was really happy. I like you too, Ray.
So, we feel the same way?
Yeah, we feel the same way.
I'm so happy! I never thought this would come! I always regretted that I didn't tell you how I felt back in high school. I'm so happy now!
I also never thought that this day would come, so I'm also happy.
Me too, Koki.
I look forward to being with you in work and personally, Ray. I was able to start dating the person I had a crush on for 4 years. I was the happiest that I'd ever been. Not only that, but a few days after I started dating, I received some good news. No, thank you very much. Well then.
You seem really happy, but what was that phone call?
It was my boss in my old job. It seemed that he realized that the mistake wasn't actually my fault, and he apologized for putting all the blame on me.
How did he realize that at this point?
Apparently, a senior colleague that blamed his mistake on me tried to blame a different mistake on somebody else, and that became a problem. After they cornered him about it, he confessed that he had blamed another mistake on me in the past.
Wow, well, that's good.
He did offer that if I'd like to come back to the company, I could, but I said that I already have a job and declined. I already found the job of my dreams, so I can't go back.
It makes me happy when you say that the job I offered you is your dream job.
I am forever grateful to you, Ray, for inviting me to this job. Ever since I started working as a home tutor, I often think that I'm glad that I met with failure, and only people who have met failure before understand the bitterness of it. Many of the students that I look after as a tutor have experienced a failure, or some of them are in the middle of that failure and are still hurting. And because I know the pain of that, I think I'm able to empathize with them and be a better tutor for them that they can rely on. Not all failures are a bad thing. All of our experiences can contribute to our future. Life is full of ups and downs, and sometimes there are times that you can't get back up on your own. And this makes me think that we must never let go of the hand of the person that helped us in times of need.
Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Make sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications.